I'm going to use overrated. And I'm going to say Josh Allen. And I'm not saying that he is overrated. However, there's been so much chatter from people who aren't Bills fans because the world isn't in a vacuum in Buffalo, New York, as Bruce had alluded to. And people are saying, like, it's a flash in the pan. He can't recreate what he did. He didn't have fans screaming in his ears. He's got the yips. And I'm here to say I don't believe it. We have, what, all the starters coming back except we swapped John Brown out for Emmanuel Sanders, who's arguably a better wide receiver than John Brown, mainly for his availability and route running skills. Guys, give me some affirmation here.
I'm with you. I don't think that. I think that the assumption is that 2019 Josh Allen is coming back. That's what people think they're going to see. And I don't think that's true. I think that one of the things that they use as an example, it's really funny, last year, going into the year, Josh Allen was Blake Bortles, and now he's Carson Wentz. That's the comparisons that you get from people who are detracting from Josh Allen. Before, it was, well, he's Blake Bortles. This year, it's Carson Wentz. I really look forward to it's okay, he's just Aaron Rodgers next year. I'm looking forward to that based on the trajectory that we're at. Next offseason, we'll be like, well, he's just Aaron Rodgers. He's only going to win one ring. He's, bummer. He's Peyton Manning. He's going to play second fiddle in the AFC to a quarterback who's better than him. And they're going to say it's the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes is Peyton Manning, Tom Brady or whatever. Oh, bummer. Josh Allen only ends up being Peyton Manning. Oh, that'd be horrible, tragic. So for me, I don't think 2019 Josh Allen's coming back. And the reason that is because I think that you ignore why Carson Wentz was good in 17 when you think about 2019 Josh Allen coming back again. I think that really when you compare Josh Allen to Carson Wentz and you say, well, he had an MVP quality season and then he fell backwards, right? You didn't really dive into Carson Wentz's peak season, did you? Because Carson Wentz's peak season, actually qualitatively speaking, looked absolutely nothing like Josh Allen's. So the second you tell me that Josh Allen 2020 was just Carson Wentz 2017, right? I know you weren't watching. The second you say that, I know you weren't watching. Carson Wentz was a bomber in 2017. Like that, in his peak season, Carson Wentz was the mad bomber. That's what he was. Like, watch qualitatively the reasons why he was so good. There was a lot of real significant vertical throws that are made with very, very significant amounts of leverage. I mean, it was a lot of third and longs and a lot of really spectacular down the field throws. Josh Allen was really efficient in 2020. When you look at the average depth of target, when you look at the completion percentage, when you look at things like that, qualitatively, it wasn't even the same style of quarterback play. The only reason they say that is because they think it was an outlier. That's it. So basically, they're just running out of things to say at this point. Josh Allen's 2020 gets him the MVP award if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go out of his mind. It's that simple. Now, I know that your natural counter response to that is going to be, well, Carson Wentz would have won the MVP too if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. And maybe that's true. But qualitatively, they weren't even the same type of season. So you can say all you want about it being an outlier, but that's really all you have. All you have at this point is, I think it's an outlier. That's all you have. I think it's an outlier. That's all you can say about Josh Allen. And we'll find out, obviously, but qualitatively, it's not even the same type of season as it was for Carson Wentz. So I'm not saying that Josh Allen will be as good in 2021 as he was in 2020, because 2020 was really good, but he could regress and still be a top 5 quarterback. That's how good 2020 was. So for me, I'm not saying he's going to be the exact same player he was in 2020 and 2021. He could be better. He could be worse. But the Carson Wentz outlier just proves to me that the only thing you have to say is, well, he'll never be that good again. To which I would respond, he doesn't have to be that good again. He just has to be in that general vicinity. So what do you got now?
Right. And to kind of allude back to the point you made there, I don't think we'll ever see Josh Allen go back to 2019 Josh Allen. And I also don't think that, I think there's a good chance we don't see 2020 Josh Allen again. Before you put out the musical, the episode I was about to be glowing about was the Josh Allen regression episode you put out. If anybody hasn't listened to it, go back and check it out. But there's so much that you put into that episode that was kind of thoughts I had, but I don't always, convey it as well as you did on that full episode. But Josh Allen's 2020 season was just bananas, especially for like what we've seen as Bills fans in quarterback purgatory for the last 20 years. It was just absurd. So now I feel like with the rest of the team kind of catching up and figuring out the little wrinkles that make us play a little bit better in just different areas as a team, you just get a little bit better from the defense, a little bit more from the run game. And all of a sudden you have a game that, last year you were down 14-20 with 4 minutes left, and, we have to do this 4-minute drill to go win the game. That same game this year could look like, we're up 20-14 with 4 minutes left, and we're just finishing out the game with the defense. So the raw statistics on it, I think it's likely that looking at that alone, I think we see a regression from him this year. But it's also conceivable that we see him take not the same kind of leap that he had, but if he even took like a quarter step ahead from last season, I mean, we're talking, that's an MVP season. That's a 50 touchdown season. I just think realistically we don't see those kind of numbers because the team gets a little bit more balanced.